VIP, the interactive novel, came into our lives, and now the fandom is in a debate over whether or not this book proves Tales games. While the evidence is compelling, I am not here today to try to prove it to you one way or another. What I can prove, however, is that the story of VIP does in fact take place at our Pizzaplex. I noticed some things in my live read-through that point directly to security breach, ruin, and help wanted 2. And if you've read the story, I'm sure you did too. Afterwards, I read through every page, explored every path, and they were very enlightening. So today we're going to be going over what this very informative book can tell us about modern FNAF. Please don't forget to like the video, subscribe to become a part of the nervous system, and leave your thoughts in the comments below. And without further ado, let's get into VIP. In case you have not or do not want to read VIP, I am going to give a summary here of the main story as well as all 9 endings. VIP is an interactive novel wherein we play as a 12-year-old child named Devon, and he has won a VIP pass to spend all day at Freddy Fazbear's Mega Pizzaplex. The only catch is, his mom is making him bring his little brother Ike. While Devon hates having to be stuck with his 6-year-old brother, he doesn't have a choice. Upon entering the Pizzaplex and explaining his prize to the front desk, they are at first puzzled, but then reach into a drawer and retrieve 2 dusty VIP passes. Well, the VIP itself is just written on in permanent marker. The passes are old and don't even have the Pizzaplex logo on them, just the original Freddy Fazbear. You are instructed to take your passes to a special terminal where you meet VIP, the very informative pig. He is a digital entity who will accompany you on your journey through the Pizzaplex via a gamepad.
This is my last opportunity to demonstrate the value I add for guests. If you promise not to ignore me during your visit, I could offer you a Fazbear experience like no other. And remember, it is all free for the day. Do you promise not to abandon me?
Your brother likes the pig, but you are not excited at the prospect of having to do what he says. If you choose to ditch the pig, you encounter a game over. VIP leads you to a back room containing 4 children's skeletons, and then the door closes behind you. You are trapped forever. However, if you keep the pig around, you get to continue on into the Pizzaplex. Your brother wants to play Bonnie Bowl, but you would rather go to the arcade. If you go with your brother, you spend the rest of your day playing Bonnie Bowl and doing whatever Ike wants. It is another game over. There is another option though. A carousel with 3 rows of classic Fazbear icons to ride upon. Ike is mesmerized, and you leave him and the gamepad to ride it while you go to the arcade. You meet your friends there, although I'd hardly call them friends with the way they speak to you. And when you return to the carousel, you find the gamepad and VIP, but no Ike. You panic as VIP reveals to you that he has hidden Ike, and the only way you'll be able to see him again is if you get to 1,000 points playing the games in the Pizzaplex. But you can only play each game 1 time. From here, there are a number of options. If you try to tell security or call your mom to explain what happened, you get game overs. If you go snooping around and find yourself in that back room, you also get a game over. Your only choice is to try to beat VIP's challenge. Playing the story on normal difficulty, you have 5 fast tokens at your disposal to get up to 1,000 points. Games will either give you 100 or 300 points, so you will need to get 300 points 3 times and 100 points 1 time. Personally, I accomplished this by using the crane machine, which got me 100 points and candy. I then went to Fazzer Blast, won and got 300. I did the same with Roxy Raceway and then Monty's Maze. Yes, at this Pizzaplex, there is not a Monty Golf, but Monty's Maze, and it is swamp-themed. You go through a maze where Monty is chasing you throughout, and if he catches you, game over. I used the candy once it had melted to stop Monty, and I used advice given to me by Chica to keep going left if I felt lost. You can only get this advice from Chica if you take your VIP pass to the entry gate before going to the terminal.
Thanks, kid. Hey, here's a hint that might help you later. If you get lost, just keep going left.
She winks. Okay. You shrug and head toward a terminal.
Bye, Chica,
Ike shouts.
See you later. Have fun,
she says as she stomps off. That one I have to give my chat credit for, as they voted for that route. They then led me directly into a horrible death, but I was still grateful for the hint. If you try to play the games and run out of Faz tokens before getting to 1,000 points, predictably, you are given a game over. You also get a game over if you do not follow VIP's instructions to keep him with you during the Roxy's Raceway race. However, in these two instances, you learn losing doesn't mean the end. It means you will have to hide away somewhere in the Pizzaplex until the next day and try again. Now, if you're worried that I'm not going into depth enough about each of the games, don't worry, we'll get there. For now, just know that VIP lets us know that they plan on replacing Monty's Maze with Monty Golf soon. And they also plan on adding a daycare. Once we have 1,000 points, we can tell VIP we've beaten his challenge. He releases Ike from where he's kept him hidden, a photo booth you noticed earlier had a long line waiting outside of it. The two of you reunite. And this feels like a good ending. You've beaten the pig at his game, but as you leave, he says he can't wait to do it all again tomorrow.
This was everything I hoped it would be,
VIP says.
I hope tomorrow is just as perfect.
You stop in your tracks. Tomorrow?
Did you think you were the only one to get a VIP invitation?
Kind of.
I mailed dozens of them. I could do this every day. Just think of it. So much fun to be had.
You find out VIP sends these VIP prizes to children who haven't been to the Pizzaplex in at least 6 months. Every day. This route gives you the end ending. To get to the good ending of this game, we have to score much more than 1,000 points. In fact, we have to score 100,000. An option revealed to us if we explore Rockstar Row before going to play games.
That is the VIP greeting room. If a guest collects 10,000 points while using the gamepad, they win an in-person meeting with me.
Can I come in? VIP crosses his arms.
I increased the fee to 100,000 points. Based on your performance thus far, you'll never be allowed to enter. So just move along.
If you go to the arcade game alcove before reaching 1,000 points, you'll discover a terminal. And sitting in the chair of the terminal is a glam rock Freddy head, but a very special one. It is called Mo, the maximum occupancy experience. It will be used to give children a hyper-realistic virtual visit of the Pizzaplex while it goes through construction for an expansion. Should you choose to put on the helmet, you will meet VIP. No, not very informative pig. This is virtual informative pig. He tells you that the rules inside the helmet are different. Your game scores are now multiplied by 10, and your uses of the games have reset. So any game you played before, you can play again. There is even a double Mo effect that multiplies the points by 100. Playing the games this way and grinding will get you up to your 100,000 points and will allow you to meet VIP, the real one. VIP is distressed to learn you've managed to score so high, but has to honor the agreement. VIP's greeting room opens and you find yourself in a server closet with a large screen in the center of it with VIP's face on it. It's hovering. You close the two of you together in the server room so that VIP can't escape and try to find a way to permanently end his crimes. Suddenly you remember you're still in the Mo. The virtual important pig multiplies and points you towards a massive power strip. You unplug it, and everything shuts down. You take off the headset and realize the whole pizzaplex has been powered down. It's all connected. What you did in Mo affected the real world. The photo booth keeping Ike trapped inside opens up, and you reunite with your brother. You stop at the security office on your way out and tell the guard, an old man, about what has happened. He tells you not to worry, that Fazbear Entertainment would make it as if none of it ever even happened. Your mom picks you up, and you go home. And that is the story of VIP. With all that out of the way, let's start breaking down some specifics. There are a number of things about this pizzaplex that more closely resemble the Tales books rather than what we see in Security Breach. But the story pauses on multiple occasions to speak about plans for renovations and an expansion, and every change spoken about would bring this pizzaplex to more closely resemble Security Breach. Whether that feels like Tales Game's confirmation for you or not is up to you. My mission is just to prove that the story of VIP takes place in our current game's timeline and how it solves some of the mysteries from the base game and Ruin DLC. Let's start with all of these hidden rooms and areas throughout the pizzaplex. We've theorized that perhaps this is somewhere Gregory or the Mimic or even Cassie would hide out. But VIP spells out very plainly what these areas are. As I said earlier, if you fail VIP's challenge by either running out of coins or breaking his rules, you are not permitted to leave the pizzaplex that day. Instead, he says, I can show you somewhere you can hide until morning. Until you can beat me, you and your brother will just be another pair of mysteriously missing kids. It would not be the first time, and I dare say it will not be the last. These areas are where different kids have been stowed away as they attempt to solve the challenge. But that is not all. In the story, Ike is being held in a photo booth by the play area, an area designed for small children with slides and kiddie rides. And where can we find a photo booth in Security Breach? Well, right outside the Superstar Daycare. One thing I will admit is that this photo booth doesn't have a door, and really, I've never encountered a photo booth with a door, but I have a feeling after enough parents complaining about their kids getting stuck in there, or even just folks complaining about the long lines, they probably just felt it was easier to replace the door with a curtain. And interestingly enough, I think I know where VIP or whoever took on the mantle if he was truly defeated in VIP kept those +1s he took hostage when the photo booth was no longer available. There is a room in Ruin we never really solved. An empty room, with nothing inside but a chair and tally marks written on the wall. A room for a missing child, with nothing better to do but count the days as they pass, until whoever brought them here completes the challenge, and they can both be free. Not to mention, I believe Mo's presence here is very telling. A disembodied glam rock Freddy head with the purpose of allowing you to see a perfect augmented reality replica of the pizzaplex. And when you wear it, a full battery charge is displayed on the HUD. I find this piece of evidence interesting as it not only relates to things we see in Security Breach, but also provides an explanation for why we see Gregory take Freddy's disembodied head out of the pizzaplex, and why he malfunctions at the beginning of the game. When you really start thinking about it, Gregory attaching the Mo head to Freddy allows the mechanic of riding around in him and being able to control his movements make a lot more sense. Now, I can't say for sure that these are the same head, but I do believe Gregory interacted with the Mo, and it likely motivated him to take Glamrock Freddy's head with him upon escaping the Pizzaplex, at the very least. And a side note, it's honestly odd that the head and terminal are set out at all. VIP says that Mo is experimental and no one has volunteered to test it, but it's seen sitting out and available for anyone to wear. It's odd. Mysteries of the Mo aside, I think the most compelling piece of evidence comes from someone we meet during this story. Cassie. That's right. We not only see Cassie in the Pizzaplex, but we talk to her and find ourselves endeared to her. During the Roxy's Raceway segment, we are given the choice between a Bonnie cart and the Chica cart. A short, brown girl who is standing next to us allows us to pick first, since it's our first time playing. Picking the Chica cart is the correct choice to win the game, but if you pick the Bonnie cart, you have multiple opportunities to hear from the girl. She is supportive, kind, and gives you advice on how to control your cart. She seems to know a lot about the Roxy-themed attraction, and she tells you, when you ask her why she's helping you out, that she just loves go-karting and wants other people to enjoy it as much as she does. So she's short, she has brown skin, she loves Roxy's Raceway, has a desire to help others, and you win the game when she's in the Bonnie cart. It's Cassie. She's here, and it is the most definitive proof that this is our Pizzaplex, and VIP takes place in our current game timeline. This is where my main proof ends. And while I'm not sure we even needed all of it, I think it's important that we have it all laid out and documented. But if you're checking the runtime of this video, it's not quite over. And that's because I want to pose one more parallel between Devon and Gregory. Gregory and Devon have very similar attitudes. They're a bit bratty and selfish, but not overly so. They get an attitude with their main companion. GGY is 12 when we hear about him in Tales, and Devon is 12 in this story. Both are trapped at the Pizzaplex and trying to find a way out, but find themselves aware of disappearances and wanting to do something about it. During Phaser Blast with Freddy and VIP, there are a couple of instances where you shoot Freddy and then you rush over to check on him. These scenes remind me of when we find Glamrock Freddy on the ground in Security Breach, or after he is disassembled and he assures us that he is okay. Gregory and Devon also go through similar trials, having to outwit their opponents and collect specific items in order to move forward. They're both good at arcade games, and they both befriend Cassie. Now, it's hard to say Devon is Gregory for a couple of reasons. For one, Devon says he doesn't know anything about computer programs, and it's hard to imagine he'd be able to learn fast enough to be at Gregory's level the way that we see him in other parts of the franchise. And two, because the animatronics would likely recognize Devon as Devon, since they call him by name so much throughout the story. However, I don't think it's a coincidence that these two characters are so similar. I do believe this story could be showing us what happened to Gregory, why he seemed like he didn't have a home, and how he knew about the disappearances. It's hard to say if he was determined by VIP or Vanny or Glitchtrap to be an asset, or if he offered up his services willingly. I mostly put this last part out as a bit of a stab in the dark because I believe it's worth thinking about. Overall, I think VIP is an excellent story and a perfect way to introduce us to this new series of interactive novels. The character of VIP's presence in the Pizzaplex provides a perfect alibi for Vanny, since Vanessa is the night guard and kids are going missing during the day. Regarding Tales games, I'll just say I believe it's helping to lead us in the direction of understanding the connections between the books and the games. Not only that, but there is an interesting and noteworthy connection between Devon and Ike and Mike and the crying child, who some people in the past have called Evan. I didn't have a good place to fit it into this video, but it was something I started picking up on throughout reading, and Dual Process Theory was in my chat making sure to point it out as well. Check out their community tab post if you want the full scoop, or just read this story yourself. It's free and it is so well crafted. I am so very excited that we have more of these coming soon. It is such a unique take on the interactive novel. So far, for me, this has been the highlight of the 10-year anniversary celebration. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like the video, subscribe to become a part of the nervous system, and keep the discussion going in the comments below. Make sure you have your bell notifications turned on so that you know when I upload or go live. I have VODs up about all of the 10th anniversary things that have been going on that I've been covering, and we are playing Into the Pit tonight at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, if you happen to be watching this as it premieres or shortly thereafter. I'll be back next week, but if you can't wait, there are videos on the screen right now just for you. Okay, bye! I have VODs up about all of the 10th anniversary things that I've been covering and that have been going on. And we are playing Into the Pit tonight at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time if you happen to be watching this as it premieres or shortly thereafter. Okay, bye.